We see more than 7 closely aligned jets coming from this object. Avi just released new images of the jets from 3I Atlas, and the vibrations are much larger than anyone expected. These images don't look like random bits of space debris. The jets are sharp, the motions are structured, and the data is a quiet confirmation that something is really going on. Loeb has stirred this issue before, but this time, the images speak for themselves. And even skeptics are on edge. So the real question is, what do these images actually mean? When we follow the trail, let's find out. There are nights when the sky seems to be revealing an ancient secret, and the return of 3I Atlas after its time behind the sun felt just like that. The weeks-long silence was shattered in the first moments of the new images. But instead of resolving the controversy, they only fueled the flames of doubt. In the new frames, the object is right in the center of the composite, shining like a lone beacon in the blackness of space. But what has left observers speechless are the streaks of light that radiate from it. They are not soft and fuzzy like the familiar comet tail, but strong and sharp, as if fighting against the solar wind. Some rays look like they were shot from an invisible launcher. Others curve in strange orbits that make even seasoned researchers have to rewind to see them again. Most startling of all were the jets of light directed at the sun. This alone was enough to make the scientific community pause. Jets of material traveling against the direction of solar radiation. That defied all understanding of comets, which are known to eject material as their icy cores heat up. Yet 3I Atlas seemed to ignore all the rules that have been established over centuries of studying the frozen travelers of the cosmos. In fact, 3I Atlas was a mystery from the start. Months ago, it suddenly accelerated without warning, changing color in ways that contradicted the chemical makeup of a comet. When it flew so close to the sun that it seemed to break apart, it remained intact and continued to fly away with ever more intense flares, as if to confirm that its story was not over. And while the public was still reeling from the first images, the next set of images pushed all doubts even further. When the 3I Atlas images were released on November 11, the scientific community quickly realized that the object did not appear to be behaving like a typical comet. The new images revealed jets erupting from the comet's nucleus with enough form and momentum to make any veteran astronomer lean forward to get a closer look. Instead of gently rolling streams of material out into space, some jets shot out with such force that they appeared to be pushing against the solar wind, a behavior that was previously thought impossible. The solar wind is one of the most powerful streams of kinetic energy in the solar system, constantly blowing charged particles away from the sun at hundreds of kilometers per second. Yet in the new images, some of the jets from 3I Atlas cut through that very wind as if powered by a steady, directional source of energy. Others have a completely different character. Some curve gently to follow the fluctuating magnetic field around the object, while others spread out into weaker fan-like patterns, likely the result of multiple mixing mechanisms. But the real shock came when analysts discovered jets of material heading directly toward the sun. In the standard physics model of comets, the heat from the sun vaporizes the ice, pushing the material away from the heat source. The fact that a jet goes against this principle raises the question, what kind of force could reverse the jet's direction in such an extreme environment? The jet's unusual brightness also adds to the mystery. They're not faint like steam turning into gas, but sharp, condensed, almost structured. This suggests that the jets, but this time the images leave no room for casual dismissal. The jets are brighter, more defined, and moving with a rhythm that feels engineered rather than accidental. Scientists who reviewed the raw data noticed micro-oscillations in the light pattern, tiny pulses that suggest intentional modulation, like a beacon encoded in physics rather than radio. As the object spins, the aligned jets fire in a sequence, each burst creating a subtle shift in its trajectory. It isn't drifting, it's adjusting, correcting, aiming. What unsettled the observers even more was the surrounding haze. Not dust, not ice, but a structured halo of particles vibrating in unison. The spectral signature doesn't match known comet outgassing or asteroid fragmentation. Instead, the halo behaves like a controlled field, shifting density in response to the jet's pulses. Researchers from multiple observatories quietly confirmed the same pattern. The object is accelerating, and the alignment of its jets is tightening day by day. No one wants to say it publicly, but the data is whispering a possibility too deliberate to ignore. Something is guiding it. And for the first time, the quiet corners of the scientific community are wondering whether 3I Atlas is not merely passing by, but arriving.